loading up the hearse, throw it in reverse. I come from the church of the Marvel Universe. Bodies getting stuffed in the bags.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Cryptcast. I'm Mike.
Now I'm here.
Again.
Still.
You want to go? You want to go home?
I am home.
And we're doing hold on. We'll back up a little bit. We're coming to you from inside the Comic Crypt in Eatontown, New Jersey, and we have a book review for you this week. It is Fight Girls.
A review for you.
So, it is 5 issues, originally published in 2021 through AWA Upshot. It is written and drawn by Frank Cho, and colors are by Sabine Rich, letters Sal Cipriano. It's a story. It's just straight up what it is.
Fight Girls.
Yeah. I mean, the whole book is beautiful because it's Frank Cho.
Yes.
He draws a little better than he writes, but he doesn't write bad.
No, it's not a bad story. It's just, it is what it is on its face.
Right. Nothing crazy. There's a twist.
What a twist!
That doesn't...
It's not a huge twist.
That's not a huge, it's a small twist that you go, oh, okay.
Like, it makes the story more likable.
I don't think it does.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, see. All right, so you have 10 women, you have 10 contestants,
mm-hmm.
and they're competing for the chance to be queen.
Queen, yeah.
There is a king, so you're competing for a chance to be a wife.
Mm-hmm.
The initial setup is the queen is barren.
She's infertile, yeah.
Right, she's infertile. She can't have kids, so she steps down. She has her marriage annulled.
Right. She doesn't step down. She's forced to not be queen anymore.
Sure. There's a reluctant panel of her looking kind of sad and,
mm-hmm.
and an empty throne and whatnot. But you have 10 lovely ladies competing in 4 different trials.
Yeah.
To become queen, and there's a little twist at the end that I think makes it better than just 10 women
dying.
Yes, and competing to
or being maimed. They're not all dead.
Yeah.
Some of them just get maimed.
I thought they all died.
No, not everybody.
Who doesn't die?
One.
I don't know. You never hear about one after she gets.
They talked about her several times.
After?
Yeah, she has a fractured skull and she's in a coma.
Oh, okay.
Spoilers.
No, I remember the fractured skull colon part. I just wasn't sure who they were talking about.
And they cart 2 away like they're gonna fix her. Just pull her into surgery, stitch her back together.
We had discussed this earlier. Number 2 getting fixed is bullshit. I don't. No, not at all.
Oh boy. All right. So
that makes me really sad for number 1. Could you imagine waking up and finding out the whole shit's over?
So, what happened?
Like, I was the number 1 contestant.
The way she got cracked, she probably doesn't even remember she was in it.
It's true.
I'll get the next one.
What's my name?
Yeah, Casita's 10 women vying to be queen, right?
Yes.
The 4 challenges are trial by jungle, trial by desert, trial by water, and trial by combat. And they're pretty straightforward. It is, we're going to drop you in this place, and you have to go run and touch this transport pad. That's it.
Yeah, it's a race. It's a race through hazardous environments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's in like a futuristic society. It's like 23 something or other.
Yeah, there's the city, whatever the hell the city's name is. I had that written somewhere.
Grace Point.
Yeah, Grace Point.
Floating capital city of Califax.
Right.
Home of the planet of the Gilmoran Empire.
Gilmoran Empire. Yeah.
You know what? You don't need to know any of those words ever.
None of them.
Like,
as I wrote them down, I was like, you don't need any of this information.
You don't need any information to the point that I don't name any of the women their names. I call them by their numbers because their names don't matter that much.
True. The city is it's on a floating rock under a glass dome, kind of bottle city of Candorish, if you get that reference. But bigger, much bigger. And it hovers over the planet's surface, apparently, and the planet has areas that are prehistoric or primal. And
places that haven't been touched in 1,000 years.
1,000 years. Don't touch that place.
Mm-hmm.
You know where it's been.
That's a no-no part of the planet.
The events are live streamed, so society can bear witness to this brutal tournament.
Go violence.
Go violence. It's like Death Race 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Our last book review was Money Shot, and I was just going, oh, look, there's floating cameras recording these beautiful women doing stuff. Not naughty stuff, but other stuff.
Well, they're fucking each other in other ways.
Yeah, they're oh boy.
And not in the hot way, in the, oh, man, like, oh, that's sex kind of way.
In an uncomfortable way.
Yeah, so we meet all the contestants, 1 through 10. They all have names, again, which don't matter. And like, what are we, like 3 pages in, and we're in the jungle already?
Yeah, they give the 10 contestants names, and they also give backgrounds of where they're from, which mean nothing.
Yeah,
because you don't know what any of these places are.
Yeah, they're just cool names, different planets and things and cities and blah 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 blah.
Yeah. There's I think it's interesting, and it's a little telling that there's 2 physical traits about 2 characters that like kind of let you know that they're special.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that later.
We can talk about it now.
Sure.
Like, you have 1 through 10, and it's just like, there's a blonde one. There's the other blonde one. There's an Asian one.
And then there's one that has rogue hair. It's got the white stripe in it. And you go, oh, you're special. You have white stripe hair. Mm-hmm. And then Xandra Blackwater is the only redhead, and she has an eye patch.
She has an eye patch.
So guess who the bad guy is?
Yeah, she's badass. Yeah. She's got an eye patch.
The contestants get ready on these like teleportation platforms, and then they are beamed down to the planet's surface into their first environment, which is a jungle filled with crazy exotic creature monsters.
They are like weird dinosaurs.
Yeah, like bird-like dinosaurs.
What? They're just like dinosaurs, but like not really the dinosaurs.
They're
just like a little weird.
Yeah, everything's a something.
Yeah, but like
not.
Yeah,
like, they're straight up velociraptors, but like they don't call them.
I think they're called raptors, and like they give. It's like this is some sort of Rex, and this is a giant shark, and this is blah blah blah. But Cho just sprinkles a little extra on top, so it's weird.
Yeah. It's a Mega Rex, a Magla Raptor, whatever.
Yeah, so they drop down into the jungle, and again, everything looks great. Like the scenery Cho does also looks good, and that's something that we don't really get to see him do a whole lot of, and he does it well.
Very, very well. I love my leadership role characters. I love my Scott Summerses, my guys that take charge. And number 1 is basically like this blonde Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. She's the first one that has dialogue. They beam to the planet's surface. She's like, stay focused. She's like, there, down by the river, there's the platform, and she's calling the shots and really like looking out for everybody. She's like, we get there and it's a foot race up to the platform. Blah 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 blah.
Before you get there, in my notes I have 1 is a proper level-headed leader, strategic and fair, and she advocates for teamwork. She wants everyone to work together to get to like the end leg of the race, and like we're gonna go to an old-fashioned like foot race.
So like I'm rooting for her right off the bat. I am like, yes.
She even yells at number 2 because she's kind of cocky, has a little bit of a potty mouth, and she's like, hey, watch the language. This is being streamed and everything, and you might be future queen. There's a level of decorum here. Watch it.
And tells her to respect the land. Mm-hmm. It would be more dangerous than it seems. Like, don't get too cocky. Mm-hmm. Don't get cocky, kid.
And then 7, who is the redhead with the eye patch.
Molotov cocktease.
Yeah, so that's fine. I'll call her 7, you call her that. 7's just
that's
a
Venture Brothers reference.
Yes, if you
to a redhead with an eye patch.
Yeah, 7's just a sociopath.
Yeah,
and I laughed.
Angry firecracker
right away. 1's giving this big speech, trying to take the lead, making everyone like go do stuff, and then 7 comes up behind number 1 with a branch. And she just clocks her in the back of the head, and then she yells, "You dumb bitches! It's every woman for herself. Now run!"
So taking what could have been a nice, level-headed situation and just turning it into random frenzy panic.
Yeah. Also, throughout the book, there are announcers covering everything, and they just show up as like word bubbles within, going, "Oh!" Wow, how about that? Right out the gate, the heavy favorite Diana Adamson is out.
Number 1, you weren't going to use names.
Well, I read the dialogue. Okay, I was just giving an example of because you have these two announcers narrating stuff as it happens.
We also get our first glimpse of the story as it happens outside the event.
Right, there's more things happening on the outside. Yes, and I have these guys as a Mole Man and Lobo.
The big fella is what if Lobo was just a human guy.
Yep.
I mean, he's even got Lobo boots.
Yeah.
They're like I swear I've seen Lobo wear those boots.
Yeah, he's got Lobo boots, a Lobo build. He's got the jacket.
And he's a cute little pink piggy on his t-shirt.
He's got a big piggy.
It's weird.
His belt buckle says Bob.
Yeah, yeah.
His name is Butcher or some shit, I think.
Bob the Butcher.
Ah. Yeah. His arm says Meat.
He has big mutton chops.
Yeah. And then the other guy, like I said, Mole Man. A little taller.
He's like 80s like breakdancing Mole Man. He's wearing like a jumpsuit. Looks like he's looking for a refrigerator box.
You know, he looks like he fell out of Transmetropolitan.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't know what that is, old Vertigo title. That was okay, Reed.
Back to the jungle.
Yeah, so these guys, Mole Man and Lobo, are involved with number 7 somehow. Like, they see her, like, crack number 1, and then, like, well, guess we gotta go do stuff.
Aw, none of the announcers said welcome to the jungle.
Yeah, missed opportunity.
Come on, you show.
What are you doing, Frank? God. Back in the jungle, the ladies have split up into 3 groups, and they're heading in different directions. 3 and 4. 4 is Rogue, the one with the white strip in her hair, are attacked by a large jungle cat. And 4 manages to fight it off with, like, a stick. This thing is like a super lion, jaguar, tiger thing.
Yeah, it's like a lion jaguar thing. Yep. Lion leopard. Leaping lion leopards.
But yeah, so she fights it off until a large dinosaur Rex thing comes and eats it. And she just goes, whoa. And the dinosaur's eating the big cat, give her a chance to escape.
I like that the announcer people don't even know the species that are on,
No, that's why they have experts.
Oh my, what's that thing?
Mm-hmm.
That's a big ass dinosaur thing is what that is.
Yes. Then we hop over to another group. 5, 6, and 9 are at the halfway mark, running over a log above a river, which I feel very bad for this frog, by the way. This frog made me sad.
Just because it gets stomped on by the dinosaur?
Well, the frog avoids getting stomped on by 4 ladies running by. And then it gets stomped on by a dino, a raptor that attacks. It jumps on 9, attacking her, which knocks over 6, who falls off the log, but she catches some shit on the bottom end,
it's tangled in the vines.
5 runs back and boots the raptor in the face, saving 9. Well, not saving 9, but getting the raptor off of 9. 9's horribly bleeding.
Yeah, we're bleeding all over the place. 6
climbs back up, trips the raptor, which falls back down into the river. Which fantastic teamwork, guys. And
yeah, but you didn't think you were going to see any of that after,
right?
Right? Yeah, actually trying to save each other.
So 5 starts to try to help 6 up, and they're like, "Oh boy, thanks to that. I didn't do it for you." And then a giant alligator shoots up from the river below and eats them.
And I mean giant alligator. That alligator looks like it could have ate the raptor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is T-Rex, mosasaur-sized alligator. Eats 6 and 5, and 9's fucked because she lands in the river. And that's 3 down.
And it's funny, too, because they're like, drone cam 14, follow the gator, notify the retrieval team.
Uh-huh. You gotta get the remnants, right?
Do you? Why?
Clean up.
They're eating.
Proper burial. Come on.
It's okay. Whose job is it to go into that gator to get the bodies?
I got drones for that. It's fine. Then we see 2 and 7 have made it to the temple. 7 again, redhead with the eye patch.
It's kind of like a Aztec-looking temple.
It's
got the stairs.
Yeah, it's kind of like an Aztec, Mesopotamian ziggurat kind of feel to it. It's a little bit of a mix. And now they just have to run up it and get to the platform above. Unfortunately for 2, though, a pterosaur comes down and picks her up and flies away with her. And and 7 literally waves. She stops running and waves at her and says, "Have a nice flight."
And it's the only time you see her smile.
Yeah. Two calls her a bitch.
I mean, she is absolutely horrid person.
But Seven is the first to touch a transport pad. She ends up back in the arena, and she's like, yeah, Hellgrave, you know.
That's where she's from.
Yes. Celebrating. Two shoves her thumb into the pterosaur's eye. She falls down, catches some branches, doesn't die, and she's second through on the transport pad.
Which, like, man, these ladies, like, they must have been aware.
Of what?
Of, like, the kind of environments they were going into. Like, you know, like, this girl she'd split second thinking. You're getting taken away by a flying dinosaur.
Hey, man, look, if an animal's attacking me, go for the eyes every time.
Yeah,
like...
thumb to the eye. These are not squeamish ladies.
No. But later we find out that some of them have trained in specific stuff. Like, we learned that the one trained in the desert during her service. Another one was, like, a swimming, like, expert or whatever. Like, we learned that they have, like, background in different things. Also, number 2, when she comes back in, she goes, suck it, bitch, and gives Seven the finger. Which is a nice, like, very prominent panel, too.
Also, very unqueen-like.
That's fine. She's the potty mouth. That's okay. Her character is that. So they're cool. 10, 4, 3, and 8 follow quickly behind her, and everyone's back except 1, 5, 6, and 9. They're dead. Well, 5, 6, and 9 are dead. 1's in a coma. Then we see a quick scene of the Prime Minister, who number 1 was his niece, and she was supposed to be the favorite to win. So
she was my favorite.
So he was real invested in what was going on there. He wants security to dig deeper on who number 7 is. She shouldn't have been able to do that to number 1. And he thinks there's something going on. They send an investigator out to go deal with it. And that's issue 1.
That is issue 1.
Issue 2. No in between. There's no, like, interpersonal anything going on between any of the ladies. It is literally, boom, we're in a desert right now. Dropped in.
Yeah, next event.
So the ladies are dropped in the middle of,
Dune.
You guessed it, a desert.
They're dropped in the middle of Dune.
Yeah, it's Dune. The transport pad is again about 10 miles away, but this time on top of a mesa instead of a pyramid.
Well, at least they have, like, you know, consistent goals. It's not like...
Yeah, we only have to run 10 miles through god-awful territory. And I like the repeat, because we see this, everyone's kind of checking things out, and then Seven's kind of sneaking around. She grabs a rock, and looks like she's going to crack number 2 in the back of the head. 2 catches her, throws a foot up in her face. And 7 goes, I wasn't trying to hurt you. I was going to do this. And she throws a rock, which triggers two giant sandworms flying out of the sand to attack.
Which I don't believe that she wasn't going to hit her.
No, she's absolutely going to pop her in the back of the head.
Absolutely.
Yeah. For worked once, why not try it again?
Exactly. Cheat to win.
2 is in a horrible spot as those worms come out, and she does some fancy-ass footwork, like flipping around, jumping, avoiding them. She's a hell of an acrobat.
Yeah, it's like some Chitara moves.
Mm-hmm. So she gets out of the way of them, and 7, again smiling, she's having a good time. She says those worms are just a warm-up. She's trained here when she was in the Corps.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
We follow the Prime Minister's man, who goes to Hellgrave to investigate 7, and we find out her whole family died in a gas leak.
And he gets information from a guy who looks like Ed Grimley.
So he sees these data screens, right? Which I don't know if it was the state of mind I was in when I was reading. I'm just too dumb. But, like, I didn't quite get what Cho was trying to get across in these, other than her whole family died, and then, like, I don't know, like, she jumps in and out of, like, the census.
Out of the censuses, yes. Yeah.
Like,
basically saying that, like, she didn't make it past.
Oh, she died, and then she came. Oh, that makes more sense now. At the time, I read it like 4 or 5 times.
That's your first sign that she's not really who she's claiming to be.
Because it's literal just data screens, like with numbers and names, and then the guy's face going like, huh?
Right, because it's census, members 6, members 6, members 6, members 5.
I got that, but
members 6. So basically it's saying that she was alive all these years then she wasn't.
Yeah.
And then she
came back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just, like I said, for whatever reason, I read that like 4 or 5 times and I just couldn't fucking figure it out. It was not processing. But the attendant informs Lobo and Mole Man that investigators there checking out the archives.
Everybody's named McSwiggan in this too.
Yeah. What's up with McSwiggan? Like,
I don't know.
Like, is it the Smith of like the future?
It must be because it's like the name of the bar is the name of.
There's at least 3 characters with the last name McSwiggan.
Yeah. Maybe she's a McSwiggan, and she's not really.
I don't know. I mean, with the way the names are going,
Blackwater.
Who knows? We hop back to the desert, and 2 and 8 come across a giant scorpion. It's like a giant scorpion. It's like remake of the Clash of the Titans.
I was thinking the same thing.
Giant scorpion. You know, because there's big scorpions, but there's like big scorpions.
Commentators are pointing out that, you know, despite their massive size, they are quite fast and agile.
2 and 8 run through a ravine, and then we can see 7 up top pushing a boulder.
And again, like, you think she's gonna cut them off and
right?
and trap them?
Well,
right?
because they even say like 8 says, "I think she saved us." 2 says, "No, she tried to kill us."
Yeah.
8 says, "Are you sure?" And we see her face, and 2 says, "Oh, I'm sure."
Yeah. 7 looking disappointed.
Yeah. So Scorpion's dead. They all get through, and they're getting up to the steps to the mesa, and a giant snapping turtle bursts out of the rock, which is just like the desert's just giant animals.
Yep.
It's just like step in the wrong spot, you're gonna make a giant animal show up. Okay, cool.
Are there turtles in the desert?
Not that I'm aware of.
I was gonna say, don't they need water?
Yeah, but there's like certain things that live in like inhospitable stuff. They have stuff, but like turtle doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a scorpion, fine. Worms, fine. The turtle, I was like, don't you need some water for a turtle?
Right. I think there's reptiles, and I think there are like very limited species of amphibians that do live in the desert. I think there's frogs that come out like in heavy rains. They do all their stuff during the rains, and then they burrow down and go into torpor for like a long time until the next year. Don't quote me on that. Where are we? Oh, so yeah. So giant snapping turtle comes back and giant snapping turtle attacks. And everyone's having a hard time. 3 just gets stepped on, just squished. The turtle has wrecked the path to the transport pad. Like, it took out the steps. 7 takes a running jump, gets across. 2 comes in right behind her. They wrestle a little bit, which allows 8 and 10 to jump across themselves and beat them. 10 coming in first. But all this time, 4 has been below. Again, 4 is rogue.
Yep.
She's down even with the giant turtle. So she just pops a rock on stuff. He looks up to go, huh? And she uses them like a big ramp to climb up and get up to the transport pad.
I like that 10 won this round.
Yeah, just vary it up a little bit.
Yeah, just change it up.
Yeah, everyone gets a chance, right?
Pondo Shen, number 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she uses ramp to get out, the turtle ramp.
Turtle ramp.
And then that investigator finds an old woman who raised Xandra, I'm sorry, I auto-corrected on my notes. Xandra Blackwater, and shows her a picture of 7. And this lady goes, oh, those aren't the same person. Xandra died in a school fire.
Whoa. There's not a lot of meat to this story. So let's address the fact that this woman's in like a nursing home.
Oh, she's got Alzheimer's.
Yeah, she's got Alzheimer's. The inspector gives her an injection that the effects will only last 5 minutes. It'll boost your memory, and unfortunately the load will cause some vascular damage. The pain will be short-lived, however, the stroke will kill you quickly.
Yes.
So he gets his information and murders this old broad.
She's old, it's fine. She's also a McSwiggan.
A Gladys.
Gladys McSwiggan. Hot. Super hot.
What that old man knows. Just like Jimmy Durante.
Alrighty. Now, issue 3.
No one died in the desert.
Except the one who got squished by the turtle.
2 got squished.
3.
Oh, 3 died?
Yeah.
Oh, we only lost 1, though.
Yeah.
We only lost 1.
Yeah.
We're down to 5.
Mm-hmm. Ocean Challenge.
She just gets stepped on so lackluster.
Yeah, it just happens.
Yeah.
Again, real straightforward. They're on a platform in the water. There's a platform about a mile away. Is that what it is?
Yep.
Yep. And they have to swim to it. That's it. Just swim through the ocean. 10 is first in the water because she is a swimmer. Like, she was, like, in whatever their version of, like, games are. Right? No surprise there. She represented Hawkins Lunar Base 2 at last year's Empire Games in swimming. There you go.
Lots of water on moon bases.
Yeah, why not? So the rest follow, with 7 catching a ride on a passing giant sea turtle. How the fuck did that happen? Like, she's like, I'm waiting for my ride. Like, did they set up this turtle? How? Like, she knew it was coming. I don't understand. Also, she could hold her breath for a long-ass time.
Yeah.
Like, a mile's worth of swimming? Not even with his turtle, man.
It's just a mile?
It's a mile away. But you have to be underwater for a mile.
Yeah.
And sea turtles move, but, like, not that quick.
And, like, you're just hoping it travels in one direction.
That's what I said. I don't understand how they set this up, because she says, 2 asks her what she's waiting for, and 7 says, oh, I'm just waiting for my ride. And she goes, well, my ride's here. So long, loser. And she jumps in and catches the turtle.
It's a robot turtle.
That would make more sense.
I get real disappointed for 10 here.
Yeah, 10 bites a little hard. So we see
she was so close.
7 rockets past 10. She gets to the platform. Boom, she's gone. She's out. She did it. 10 gets caught in a jellyfish swarm. And that sucks, man. Have you ever been stung by jellyfish?
No, I have not.
I've been stung by a lot of jellyfish. It sucks.
A lot of jellyfish?
Yeah.
Why?
You've never been swimming and have jellyfish just kind of like move into an area?
No.
Yeah, that's happened to me.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, it sucked really bad.
Did you get like stung multiple times at once or on several different occasions?
I've been stung like by 1 or 2 or whatever, but I got like wrecked like by a swarm where like I was swimming and it moved in and all of a sudden you're surrounded by jellyfish and you feel zap, zap, zap. And then you start moving more and you go zap, 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 zap. And I walked out of that fucking water covered in welts. Sucked balls.
Sucks.
Yeah, no good.
When I was a kid, my mom had taken us to Coney Island, and my brother's friend Teddy got stung by a jellyfish, and it like didn't let go.
She got stuck to him?
Yeah, and like he couldn't get it off.
Mm-hmm.
Like we took the train home. Like we were like 3 stops away from Coney Island. So like we took the train 3 stops. And I think he ran into a McDonald's and got a plastic fork and scraped it off his leg.
Do you know how jellyfish things work?
No.
So on their little tentacle things, they have these little hair triggers, right? So when they touch, what happens is essentially it's like a spring trigger where once it gets like disturbed, it shoots out a little hypodermic needle.
Ouch.
And it pops you. Yeah, not cool. Hurts. So I feel for 10. I can relate to jellyfish. I cannot relate to her being attacked by a megalodon.
So, sea turtle, you know, all right, you know it's coming, sure, or you're just incredibly lucky.
Sure.
And it swims in a straight line for your platform.
Sure. Like turtles do.
Sure. Are turtles fast?
Like I said, they can move. They're just not like very fast.
Because that was the thing for me. Is like this woman is a champion swimmer, and I just have trouble with like the turtle passing her. Like this 10 was in the water right away, got such a head start.
Yeah, so humans are not meant to like move in water. A sea turtle is made to live in water.
But that's what I'm saying. Like do turtles move that fast in the water that they can outswim a person?
Yeah, I would say so. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Because that doesn't seem right to me.
They got flippers. It's bigger than, so its stroke's going to be bigger.
Sure, but like they meander. Like they're not doing Olympic laps. Like this woman is swimming with a purpose.
It's still going to be faster.
Yeah, sure.
You ever seen a sea turtle swim around an aquarium?
No.
They get around faster than walking speed.
I mean, that's not even true. I did see a turtle swim around in the Baltimore aquarium, but they didn't seem to be going anywhere in a hurry.
Well, because they're in a big tank.
Like I said, meandering. Like I don't see like the turtle going, "Oh, I'm sorry, lady on my back. Are you in a rush? Let me hurry up." Like, yeah, it just doesn't...
Sea turtles can swim in varying speeds, generally cruising at 1.5 to 2.5 miles an hour.
Yeah, I feel like this woman should be swimming faster than that. Like, she's an Olympic swimmer.
They can swim up to 22 miles an hour.
Oh, that's fast.
When they're frightened. Hold on. I'm gonna look up human swim speed. Let's see. Human swimmers reach speeds of 5 to 6 miles per hour over short distances.
All right, so I guess a turtle. It's faster. If they're scared.
All right. Now we had learned that. Where are we? All right. 10 got eaten by a megalodon.
Yep.
Then 8 is very nearby, and she goes, "Gah!" And then she lifts up a stump of an arm. Megalodon got most of her left arm.
Like, I don't, like, again, confusing. Most confusing chapter in the book, because she just looks shocked.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, how did that happen?"
Instead of like, "Oh, dear God, my arm is gone."
Right. It's a megalodon, so it's a giant fucking shark. She would have got bumped by that. It wouldn't just neatly go and take your arm off.
Precision strike.
Yeah.
Like, surgical precision. No, I don't think so.
But don't worry, she doesn't get eaten by the shark. A pterosaur comes by and picks her up out of the... Cho really likes big bird things lifting you up out of the water.
No.
Or lifting it, because happened to 2 in the jungle, happened to 8 here.
Pterosaur?
It's all-encompassing. Pterosaurs are like pterodactyls, pterodons, like all of those types.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like saying sauropod or something like that. It's just like a type of dino.
Okay.
They're not even dinos. They're actually reptiles. Science.
Everything by default is a pterodactyl to me.
Pterodactyls have the big head things.
Yeah. Head spikes.
Whoops, I was wrong. The megalodon shoots out of the water and eats number 8 and the pterosaur.
Which, like, I'm glad one of the other swimmers turns around and is like, "Holy shit!" Because, like, at that point, I'm saying the same thing. I was like, "Damn, this is the worst environment yet."
So 2 and 4 see that, and they haul ass to the platform.
And I get it, megalodons are big, but, like, it just ate 2 people and a dinosaur. Are you still coming back for more?
Hungry.
Yeah, super hungry. Like, you can't get a snack and then fuck off for a little bit? Like, jeez.
So we see 2 and 4 lifting themselves up onto the platform. 2 is running to hit the platform, right? To touch. It's a box that you have to hit with your hand. And we see 4 diving back into the water.
It is such a great splash page of the megalodon, like, coming out of the water.
Yeah, it's breached. It's trying to get number 2. Which is like, come on. There's nothing better. Go eat that sea turtle.
Right? You gotta get it out of the shell. It's a lot of work.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. You eat crab before, right?
Yeah, you know, they give you the little hammer and the bib. You know, he's got no hands. He can't tie the bib. What the fuck's he gonna do?
We see number 2's hand hit the box, and as soon as we only saw the hand hit, I knew exactly what was happening. You know, like it's just like you're not keeping any secrets here, Cho. We all knew what was going to happen. The next panel is
contestant number 2 made it in the nick of. Oh my god!
It's contestant number 2, cut in 2,
bit in half,
with the megalodon's head.
Yeah, the lower half of her is still in the megalodon's mouth.
Yeah, so she basically got clipped at the hips.
Yeah. Right in half.
Mm-hmm.
Gross.
Yeah.
Crazy attention to detail on those intestines. I do not want to look at that page much longer.
Well, we see number 4 come out of the water, get onto the platform, and try to touch the transport pad, and it doesn't work because it got damaged by the megalodon. And she goes, "Hello? Anyone up there?"
Yeah, the platforms are like these like square cubes.
Yeah.
Like that you have to hit, and half the square cube is gone.
Mm-hmm. With that pad busted, she's just sitting there. They rushed 2 and both her halves off to surgery. Like she's still gonna make it.
Just get the surgical team ready to receive parts.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
Are you doing?
And then we see 4 just sitting on the platform watching pterosaurs eat the megalodon carcass, and then she gets
Wouldn't it
an idea.
sink?
Initially, it might, because you would have to bloat a little bit to go. I don't know. Whatever. It's a nice visual. It allows her to get out.
But then 4 has her MacGyver moment.
Mm-hmm. She starts ripping wires out of the transport pad, and they think that she's just making whips to keep the animals away so they don't attack her.
Which would be fair. Which would be a good idea, at least to protect yourself.
Yeah. But she actually uses it to capture a pterosaur and ride it back to the arena. All the while, officials are debating the contest rules and legality, and they tentatively announce that Seven is the winner, because she has to get back to the arena under her own power. So even if the pad's broken, she still has to figure it out, which she does. But they have a Seven that looks like she's going to win kind of moment.
Unbelievable ingenuity of 4 wrangling that dinosaur.
Right. Which, like, was this necessary?
Was what necessary?
This part. Considering later. We'll get back to that.
Sure.
I think we could have fast-tracked it a little bit.
Well, otherwise she would have got left there.
Well, they would pick her up eventually.
I guess.
Everyone was like, hey, we should just go pick her up, right? Like, there are plenty of people advocating for it. We hop back to the Prime Minister's investigator, who is murdered by Mole Man and Lobo. He gets stabbed through the neck. But while they're running his body, trying to check for stuff, he comes back to life.
Yeah, he was badass. He was stabbed in the neck and come back.
Yeah, man.
And I got to admit, I thought he was going to stick around a little longer. Because he comes back, and like you notice when he comes back, his eyes are just white.
Yeah.
Like, I thought there was something more to him.
I mean, he mentions that he has got modifications, so he's like faster, stronger, or whatever. I think next issue. But you know, number 4, we pick right back up with the investigator fighting Lobo, and Lobo keeps him busy long enough for Mole Man to pop him in the head with a railgun, and then he says 2 more for insurance. You know, considering he came back already.
Pop, pop.
Double tap. And then they say they figure Blondie's cover may be blown, and they have to wipe their trails and warn her. And Seven gets the message. She's not blonde. She's a redhead, everybody. They call her Blondie. Seven gets that message as she's entering the ring to fight number 4.
Well, she mentions later that she had to dye her hair.
Yeah. Spoilers! Oh my god!
Oh, it's the worst spoiler.
But like Cho, like this is not the first time they call her Blondie. Like they
terrible.
I think they call her Blondie previously. It's like, okay, but what does that mean?
False advertising.
They're like, he's laying out clues in an awkward way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, what? That's just confusing. That doesn't help me. Right. So we have challenge by combat.
Whoever wins will be the queen.
Yep. And as far as this one goes, it's a really well executed fight. Everything looks great. Like the whole thing is just them going back and forth in a fight. There's like not a whole lot to talk about.
And just good lord, like the magic of Frank Cho's drawings.
Yeah, look,
this is a fucking anatomy lesson.
The layout is fantastic. The
Every
auction
pose
is really good.
Dynamic. Every fight, like these are full blown fights. Everything's dynamic motion.
Yes, everything looks awesome. You have like overlap on like panels. Like everything looks really awesome. Like he knows what he's doing. Like he's one of the. I want to see him do more interiors. Covers are great. I want to see more of this because it is so good.
Yeah.
That's very expensive though, unless it's a passion project like he's doing here. There is one point in here where 4 gets 7 with a kick to the stomach, and one of the announcers says, "Pow!" right to the breadbasket. What the fuck is a breadbasket? Your tummy? Like,
I guess so.
Start calling my breadbasket.
That's where you put your bread, right?
Inside the fight, we get a quick scene of the Prime Minister yelling at his head of security to find out what happened to his investigator, and to find out who 7 really is. And then ultimately 4 gets 7 in a rear naked chokehold.
Who does number 2 work for?
And 4 wins the fight. She's queen.
I'm not a number. I'm a free man.
So we get to issue 5, and issue 5 loses me.
Issue 5 loses you?
Yeah, a lot happens in this, and I don't particularly care for it.
But it's like the whole wrap-up. It's the whole point of everything.
I know. That's why this isn't a top tier book for me. like I said, it's a well done book. It's beautiful. The art's awesome. The story's very straightforward. I feel like the end here was unnecessary. We could have done something else. Even if the wrap up was her just becoming queen and something else happening. Like, I don't dig the end.
Okay.
It doesn't come together for me.
Okay.
Just saying.
I think it's great.
Okay. Just want to make sure. I want you to know where I am coming into it.
Damn the patriarchy.
This wasn't that at all.
Kinda.
How?
Well, they get rid of the king. Spoiler.
Right, but this is petty revenge. This isn't take the patriarchy down. This is fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how the king resembles somebody, too.
He does?
Yeah. You don't like the hair?
Well, I'm looking.
Fat, bloated, fucking...
Very, very slightly. Mm-hmm. We get it. So, this issue gets a little gross, by the way.
Yes.
It's not why I dislike it. I just think it's not great. So Seven's in recovery and ends up escaping the hospital with the help of Mole Man and Lobo. Like, they give her, like, plans and an out and stuff like that. They loop a camera.
She has to cut open her dig out her chip. They chipped all the contestants.
Right. She has an implant she cuts out of her arm, and she does it right as the security guy is telling the Prime Minister about it. So that dude's definitely getting fired.
Right.
Because he goes, no, don't worry about it. We chip all of them, so we know exactly where she is in a minute. We just got to pull it up. And like as that's happening, she just crunch. She walks free. Then we see 4, and she's being bathed,
pampered and prepared,
and set for an informal interview with the king. How nice. Which is like, has no one ever seen the king before? Like, do they know what they're getting into? Is he making public appearances?
No, there's probably some kind of like Max Headroom video person.
Yeah, like some video thing. Yeah.
You're glitching. I am your king, my loyal subjects.
So as she's getting ready, she puts in a contact lens for a quote-unquote scratched cornea from the fight. And in my notes I think she's going to kill this dude. And I have, is she working with 7? ?
On the first page of chapter 5, and I see the chair, I'm like, she's definitely going to kill this dude.
Well, the chair is a gynecological chair.
With the stirrups.
Like, yeah, it's got stirrups on, and she's got to get in there, because they need to run a compatibility test. Like, physical compatibility with the king. There's 2 doctors, and they say, they call the king, they call the king robust. And they have a syringe and a scalpel ready to, quote, numb the pain and to widen your passage to accommodate his royal girth.
We need to know if you can handle the king physically.
And then we see the king, and he is... Have you seen either of the Dunes?
No, but I know who you're talking about.
So, he looks like Baron Harkonnen from Dune.
But like purple.
Yeah, he's purple and veiny and gross.
It's like Grimace.
Yeah, and he's even wearing like a hover harness, like a magnetic harness, so he doesn't have to hurt his big fat knees. So he's an immensely fat and disgusting like looking person. He's got boils all over his face and his shoulders. Like
and he appears to be naked, except for the harness.
Except for the harness, yeah.
But he's so fat that you can't see anything. Thankfully.
Yeah, when they said that, I didn't realize he was gonna be a big fat person until I saw the cankles in the shots. I was hoping he just wasn't like a big giant penis monster, you know. So we see that, and he's gonna get real gross real fast. But we have Mole Man take 7 to go to a ship, and they plan to blow the power grid for something. They don't say what. A little guard droid shows up, and Lobo destroys it, and they're all like, oh, I hope it works. Go get him, Blondie.
She flies off in some kind of ship.
Yeah.
Car thing.
Yeah, thing. We hop back to 4 in the stirrups with the big fat monster about to try to get in her.
Leaning over her, getting all gropey.
And she breaks the king's nose. She grabs a scalpel and she slices the throats of the doctors. Then she breaks both the king's collarbones. And as he's begging for his life, she says she's recording the whole thing. And she has a message from Gina. Die and rot in hell, you fat cunt. Don't worry, cunt is... it's censored with symbols, so we can't figure that out. Even they put C first. That's nice. That's a nice touch when they do the profanity stuff. Putting in the first letter so you don't have to guess.
I'll read it a few times just to make sure like
it works.
Which one fits right?
Right, but like you don't even have to try if they put the first letter in. It lets you know what it is. But she takes that scalpel and slams it into his ear, killing him.
So what do you think? Like, What do you think? Like, because you know, Gina's clearly Regina, the queen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do you think her motivation is there to have these girls compete to become the queen to kill him?
To kill him, to get close to him.
Right. But like, why? She stepped down because she couldn't have kids and heirs or whatever. But like, clearly he's just a fat, gross, rapey monster.
Yeah.
But like, you know, so if she could have had kids, would that ever happen? Like, would she just stayed being queen? Was she happy being queen? Like, you know.
The last page says rewind, play, sigh, because she's watching the
over and over again.
Yeah, watching the footage. She says, "Oh, Rufus, you shouldn't have taken my crown. Hail to the queen." Like, she wanted to maintain being queen. I don't think she gave a fuck about him. I think she was into the power. So, King's dead. The guards are coming. She floats his corpse over to the door, turns the vest off, and he plops right in front of it.
He blocks the door, which I love that.
Yep. You know, Rufus, you make a better doorstop than a king. Then the door, because the door won't open, the guards get the heavy artillery, blast through the door and the king at the same time.
Yeah, that's great.
Like, they just destroy the top half of his body. They get through. Ford jumps off the balcony into the ship with Seven. They upload the video. They get 3 million credits. That's when we find out that Seven isn't a redhead. She doesn't need the eye patch. I don't know why she didn't take it off before now.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
When you got your shit together, you could have just popped that off.
Because it needed to have a dramatic reveal.
Yeah, you'd have to have a dramatic reveal, yeah. And then, like I said before...
I like to hang on, I'm ripping sky.
Yeah.
Sounds like slang for fucking ripping ass.
Then, like, we find, like we mentioned before, the video was sent to the former queen. It was all a revenge plot. And 4 and 7 were just hired guns. That's the book.
Yeah, I like the way it wraps up.
Like, it wraps up because it, like, oh, now we can follow these girls on other adventures or whatever, right? They're hired guns.
Does Gina get to go back to being queen?
I don't think so. She abdicated, so why would she?
But who gets to be queen now?
Did you do another contest? Maybe number 1 will win this time.
True. How about the sequel, Frank?
So...
I'll read another pretty 5 issues.
But we're not going to get that. We'll follow 4 and 7, whatever their actual names are, on further adventure. Yeah, like I said...
Han and Chewie.
And they got Lobo and Mole Man, too, so...
Exactly. Crossover.
We got Mole Man, Lobo, Molotov, and Rogue. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say about this book outside of what I already have. I do have one issue. The cover to the trade, I have an issue with, because it telegraphs the twist. The main girl on the cover of the trade is number 4. Right?
Yeah.
It makes her look like she's the main character. Where throughout the book, she's always just, like, secondary up until the very end. And 7 is very clearly the main character. So you kind of give a little bit away on the cover here. I dislike that. So, yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say about it other than I already did. Like, it's there's not a lot of depth. A whole lot of good drawing. A whole lot of beautiful art.
Uh-huh.
And like I said, outside of Cho stuff, we get to see all the backgrounds he does. And like I said, he nails those. Like, I enjoy seeing them. I didn't particularly like the way he drew and colored the water.
Okay.
Well, he didn't color the water, but I didn't like the water. It looked a little weird.
Fat, evil, gross men getting what they deserve.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
It's a feel-good feminist book.
Yeah, I mean, it's a woman-centric book. The only men in it are shitbags. I mean, they all get fucked up. Other than the Prime Minister, who's looking out for his daughter, or his niece, I guess.
Yeah, the Prime Minister looking out for his niece is okay. Mole Man and Lobo are okay.
Yeah, they're fine.
Just in on the conspiracy. They're
still murderers, though.
I mean, they're murdering they're helping murder a fat, scummy king.
Oh, that's fair. They murdered that guy, though.
Yeah, the cool bad. He seemed like,
He wasn't a bad guy. He was just a security guy doing his job.
Yeah, and he seemed real badass.
He was definitely
could have
badass.
had a little more going on with him. Mm-hmm. Like, the book could have used a little more outside the competition shit going on.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's Fight Girls.
Yeah.
I would say if you're a fan of Cho's art, absolutely read it.
Yeah. And it's quick. It's a real quick read.
Yeah, I ripped through this.
Yeah, I read it in like a couple hours. One day.
Couple hours?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I put it down a couple times.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I didn't sit there and read it all in one shot.
Okay, you made it sound like it took you a really long time to get through that book.
No, I did. I read it on Monday when I was unpacking boxes. So, you know, unpack a box, sit down, read a little bit, unpack a box.
Yeah, average issue for the most part takes me usually like 15 minutes to read. Yeah. This is probably a little less because they're very action heavy and not a ton of dialogue.
Yeah.
Like most of the dialogue happening is the fucking announcers. And you can skip the fucking camera directions too. You're like, you know, those are in there that I don't even pay attention to. It's like, I don't care what camera, whatever the fuck is panning onto. Get out of here.
Yeah, there's a lot of unnecessary dialogue where it's like, camera 16, close in on this,
yeah,
and overhead shots, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, stop.
You're putting bubbles over beautiful Cho art. Get it out of here. Like, I even for the, like I said, the well-done backgrounds, they need to block all that up. Yeah. So, yeah, go check it out.
Yeah, I mean, not just his people anatomy, but the monsters too, the cats, and the dinos, and the sea life.
The things we did, and there's some concept pages in the back of the book too, which I appreciate. You can see a little more of the monster design, and I appreciate that. I like that kind of stuff. So,
it seemed like in some of not in all the panels, but like in some detail, he did a lot of that cross hatching.
Yeah, and then the backgrounds, it gets a little like dark depth kind of thing going on.
He has those books that he does, the ballpoint drawings that are all cross hatching.
But if you look at a lot of it's in there. It's in almost everything, you know.
Yeah.
So, but that's him. Like it works for him. He knows when to use it, when to not.
It's very impressive in the context of the ballpoint drawings, where you're just like, how do you not fuck up a single one of those lines?
You do it professionally for decades.
Yeah, right.
So, thanks for listening. If you would like to send us any suggestions for book reviews, you could do that at thecomiccryptcast@gmail.com.
Texture in that shark.
Mm-hmm. Most of the cover pages have those.
Yeah.
You can follow the store on Instagram and Facebook. Links for those will be in the show notes. Go read your books.
We loading up the hearse, throw it in reverse. I come from the church of the Marvel Universe. Bodies getting stuffed in the bags like comics. The hardcore get it while the soft bitches vomit. I came to this earth on a radiated comet. Now the planet is in perilous danger because I'm on it. Fly super villain with the superpowers in me. Got the red issues and all my shit is minty. Body like Ben Grimm, suckers I be beating down. Look around and we be found chilling out in Eatontown. I be at the comic crypt stacking up the kryptonite. Doomsday and Superman every time I grip the mic. Dark Phoenix overloading, supernova, sunspot exploding. I'm the Punisher reloading Bobby Drake when he's frozen. Storm forming ominous clouds over the ocean. Working with Professor X to master my emotion. Have you posing in the box whether you know it or not. I'll easily bag your bitch like Logan did to Scott. Mr. Sinister plots when I administer shots to clone Gene from my genes. Then this shit'll get hot like Inferno. Burn slow, humans are ash. God loves man kills in the days of future past. Now I'm working on a science lesson. Me and Brian Stratton, a rat in a cage who can't stop buying X-Men.
Like a flower that blooms in the spring.